Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be talking about the new Portal Gauntlet that just came out for Geometry Dash. And I just got done playing all 5 levels in the Gauntlet, and I have to say, it's a load of bullshit. It's boring, it's mid, and it's just mostly a nothing burger. Alright, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it for the first level. First level in the gauntlet is Azimuth by Knots. Alright, and like Knots, that creator, his levels usually are visually stunning, right? It has such a distinct art style. It's really just flashy. It's, it's just nice to look at. But the problem with levels like that is the clarity of gameplay. You don't know where the fuck to land. You don't know what kills you. You don't know what is a block that you can land on, and you don't know what's part of the background. All right, you just don't know. There's no proper indication. You just have to guess, and I guess use some context clues, which in a GD level that doesn't really work as compared to other games using context clues, right? In GD, you're just constantly moving, you're constantly going forward. There's no time for you to stop and look at the context clues and figure out which block kills you and which block doesn't. You just have to guess which one kills you and which one doesn't kill you. It's it's kind of frustrating. I mean, overall, the level's gameplay is okay. It's nothing extraordinary. It's nothing too special. It's alright. It's just that when I play the level, I find myself dying a couple of times because I didn't know I had to jump, or like I accidentally smashed into an object that is actually a solid object and not part of the background. Right, that happens quite a bit, and I didn't know where to land because I thought the platforms are part of the background, right? So that's the main gripe of the level, but overall, it's not that bad of a level. I think it's like a solid 6 out of 10. All right, it looks good. Now for the second level, it's called Shards of Siberia by Zender Game. And honestly, this level is quite forgettable. Like it's nothing that really stands out for me. Like even now when I'm talking, I forgot what the level even is. Like it's clearly not Zender Game's best work, but I gotta give it credit. The gameplay, I remember it being quite alright, quite fun. It's pretty engaging for like a 4 star. It's pretty sight readable for the most part, and there's no bullshit thing such as like you don't know where to land. I mean, I guess there's this one part at like 60% that has like some weird perspective shift where like your cube will land on the block, but like I don't know, it's really weird. I died there once, but it's not that bad. It's actually easy to figure out like once you know what's going on. So like that level, is just it's nothing special, but it works, right? The gameplay is fine. It's quite fun. It's quite sight readable, and that's all you can ask for in a level. Now, moving on to the third level. The third level is called Between Worlds by XX Loco XX. Alright, and this level it looks really good. It This level looks really good. I like the sync where like you like it matches up with like the glitchy parts of the song, right? You'll go through this like a rift in the level where like it makes your icon go flying up, and you have no control over the icon. That kind of syncs up with like the glitchy parts of the level. So I think that's cool. Right, that part is it's quite cool. The sync as well. Like yeah, it's all right. It's just that the gameplay once again it's quite long. The level is quite long, and the gameplay is quite boring. Like you're just jumping over spikes. You just, if I remember correctly, you just the cue ball the way, which is just, it's not that fun. But you know, to give it credit, it's quite like the sync is quite good. Like the glitchy parts, whatever, that kind of thing. You know when you play it, it syncs quite well. All right, now the fourth level of the gauntlet, which is Why Me, Why Me, Why Me, Why Me, Why Me, Why Me, whatever, by TMN Gaming. This level is very boring. Like, I'm just gonna say it straight up, it's boring. Okay, first of all, let's just address the elephant in the room, okay? And say this level is quite edgy. It's trying to convey a message about creativity, about how it can be a double-edged sword. It's good to have a creative mind, but sometimes this creativity, they don't really vibe with people. People might not like it. As seen at a part later in the level where, the creator is just showing all like the common hate comments that he might get. And obviously, this is affecting him because he has poured his heart and soul into a level, but it's received poorly because people just don't get the vision, don't get the vision that the creator is trying to, convey. That's what this level is trying to say. Like, oh no, I'm quite creative. I have a creative mind, but then yeah, sometimes I can't come up with something. I just don't want to create anymore. I'm running out of motivation, whatever. That's like the general vibe I got from this level. It might be like completely wrong. I don't know. Maybe someone has made like a 5-hour analysis of this level. Who knows? But that's the general gist of the level. It's quite edgy. It's quite corny at times, where it says like, "Oh, I am inside your mind. I'm going insane." Whatever. It's about like, all right. I'm not gonna comment too much on the message of the level because honestly, I respect it. Like these style of levels, I feel like they can exist, right? They can exist where the creators is just pouring their heart out, saying whatever shit they have to say. But the main problem I have with this level is once again the gameplay. It's boring, like I said, it's boring. You're just jumping over shit at the first part where you are going through like different segments of like these creators levels, right? It's a cool concept, but it's quite boring. Like you don't really do much. You just jump over stuff as a queue. I just don't know why you can't just like change game modes like every time you enter a different segment, right? Just have some variety so it keeps the player kind of engaged, right? With the level keeps the player engaged. It's not just you mindlessly jumping over stuff. But it's alright. It's not that bad. It's easy, whatever. It's just long. But this, but my main issue with this level is like the last 15% of the level, where the song has like a final chorus where it goes like boom, everything boom, right? Like the drop, and like the level obviously reflects that. Now, like in the middle of this level, it has another like drop part, but that part's actually quite fun to play. It flows really well. It's quite sight readable, and you change into a wide variety of game modes. Sorry, and it is just quite fun. It's a little bit jarring because the whole level is just you jumping over stuff in slow speed. But and then suddenly this drop comes in, but it's like not that hard. It's actually quite intuitive. You might die there once or twice, but it's like whatever. It's not that hard. And it's in the middle of the level, so like you only have to go through 1 minute of it, which is long, but it's like not that bad, whatever. But this the main issue is this last 15%. Keep in mind this level's 4 minutes, and if you die at this last part, you have to go through this level all over again, all over it as a whole. Like it gets boring, it gets tiring really quick. It's really quick because this level is meant to be played like once. It's meant to be a one-time experience where you hop into the level, you play it, you get the message, and then you beat level and then you reflect on it. But this last 15% is preventing you from doing that. The gameplay is so unintuitive, it doesn't flow properly, and I cannot pin down why that is. But it just doesn't flow well. I don't know. Compared to the part in the middle, this last 15% is just so clunky. It feels so clunky, and there's like a lot of jank as well. Like there's this one red orb where like you're supposed to hit it obviously, but sometimes you can hit it too early and you bump into an invisible block, which is like, why is the invisible block even there? Why? Sometimes people just buffer because it's a 5-star level. It's not meant to be hardest, not meant to be timings, and it's like an art piece level. So obviously your average player is gonna think, oh yeah, there's not gonna be any tough gameplay. So whatever I see an orb, I decide to buffer it just in case, right? That's what I did, but I died because I hit an invisible ceiling. Why is there an invisible ceiling there? Why? I know it's such a minor thing, but this is right at the end, man. And like it's a 4-minute level. You die here once, you have to waste another 4 minutes just getting back there. And at that point, sometimes you might just forget what happens because it's been 4 minutes. It's so long. You have to focus on the rest of the level first. So that's the main issue of this level. It's just the last part of the level should just you can have like a fast part at the end, right? It fits the song, whatever, but just makes it flow good, make it flow well, like the middle part. Why not do that? I don't understand, and it's so ironic as well because this level touches upon the negative comments that a creator might get when they upload levels, right? Comments like, "Oh, this is the worst level ever made," or "You're useless," whatever, right? But that's portrayed in the level, right? It's part of the message. But it's so ironic because the part after that is the freaking last 15% part, which makes people piss off. Like pissed off because they die there. Because the part is just bad, gameplay wise. And if you go to the comments, you can see the exact same hate comments that the creator is trying to express that he's been getting. So it's like you're not doing yourself any favors by having that last part right there being quite bad and unintuitive, right? It just does the opposite of what you're trying to convey, which is like, I don't like hate comments, I don't want them. These obviously have been affecting me a lot. It's just, it's just so ironic because the part after that is just so bad, and that's what warrants all the hate that it's been getting. Obviously, I say don't send hate to this creator, but like, I can't really blame the people for like not liking this level because of that last 15%. And it's just so ironic. That's all. And the final level, and surprisingly, it's a good level. It's, I don't know how to pronounce it, Suretet. Suretet by Xenoteric. Right? This level is actually quite fun. Like, short, sweet, and simple. Right? It has good visuals, it looks good. And the gameplay is thrilling. It's really fun. It's really fast paced. It's kind of challenging for it's just 6 stars, right? It's kind of challenging, but it's also quite fun. It flows really well because it just feels so natural. Like, oh shit, this is how you do it. Yeah, it's so natural. It's so fun, and it is a nice change of pace compared to the level before this level, the fourth level, right? Compared to that, this last level is really good, and I dare say one of the best levels in the gauntlets in general. It's really fun. It's really thrilling, right? And the song, the visuals is good as well. It complements the gameplay, and it just makes an all-around good level. This is what the gauntlet must be. Fun gameplay and good visuals. So yeah, that is my review for the Portal Gauntlet. Overall, it's not the worst gauntlet, but it's certainly not the best. It's been held back by a few levels that are just they're either just boring or they just don't flow well. But there are a few levels in this gauntlet that are clearly good. So yeah, it's not the worst gauntlet by far. That's my review. Goodbye and see you later.